There exists a place where madness and logic meet. There is an infinite expanse where Oddter nonsense reigns supreme. This is Oddter Space.
Good day, my darling oddities, and welcome back to Oddter Space, the part of your brain that thinks all turtles are made out of chocolate, caramel, and pecans. This is broadcast from Oddter Space, and I'm your host, Oddter. Today marks the beginning of a new phase for BFOS, but for real this time. And when I say that, I mean, I've tried doing solo episodes of the show before, and I tend to kind of stumble with them. I really had to sit myself down and ask myself the hard questions, like, Oddter? Yes, Oddter? A good idea to do a live stream on a topic with no idea how to talk about said topic. I have no idea. Why'd you even try reading a script on a live stream when you know darn well you were gonna get distracted and flushed the first time somebody said a damn thing to you? Damn it, Oddter, answer me! Okay, I don't know. Anyways, so a few trips through the old psych rotation later, here I am, planning things out ahead of time instead of winging it like I've typically done. As anyone that isn't even vaguely familiar with me knows, my brain's a bit, let's say, fractured. And if you're not familiar with me, well, hello there. I trust the preceding manic episode has intrigued you. Perhaps you'd consider subscribing, or liking, or following? I don't actually know what I'm supposed to be begging for here, but you get the point. I do live streams over on Twitch with sometimes games and sometimes other guests, and I also make silly little things for TikTok, which always end up on YouTube anyway, and I also share dad jokes and other stupid Oddter nonsense over on Twitter. So maybe a little support wouldn't go too wrong. I'd really appreciate it. Any kind of support at all would mean a heck of a lot to me, and I'll include all my links below. Anywho, back to my broken brain. Hey! The point is just that my show is going to be broken up into parts, so that I can actually make things. It's a little easier to commit to a bunch of small things than one big thing. That's what she said! It's a show in multiple parts, alright? Alright. Here is where we find ourselves right now, the opening ramble. I'll talk about random stuff here. I'll never be too consistent, but I'll actually have some kind of plan going into it rather than just winging it like I normally would. Today's plan was to explain the plan, so... yeah. The next part is the VTuber of the week. Oh, wow. Some of you might know I work with a group called The Initiative to investigate the anomalous creatures that the world knows as VTubers.
He is not working with us. He's actively making our job more difficult.
And as thanks for my help, they gave me this nifty lab coat. Ta-da!
We have no idea where he got that coat.
And of course my disembodied assistant from the initiative will be helping me out with these sections of the show. Say hi, disembodied assistant.
I'm not your assistant. I'm basically your parole officer.
The VTuber I want to highlight for this first episode is a good friend of mine and one of the first guests I had on the show, Toluca Turtle. The initiative already has a file on Toluca, which I may have copied and posted onto my various channels.
So much for confidential information.
Toluca is a variety streamer, poet, writer, and of course, a turtle. Her full name is Toluca Germain Turtelli, and she's an Aquarius.
You made that part up.
No, really, I swear. Toluca's special powers include having a shell made of stained glass, being able to assault her foes at speed that no terrapin should be able to achieve, and having the vocabulary of a drunken sailor.
Call them anomalous traits, not special powers.
As you may imagine, setting up electronics needed to stream games is a bit tricky for a turtle, but luckily her husband, BJ, is a penguin with the skills to pay the bills, and he helps her out by setting up and moderating for her.
Wait, but that doesn't explain how the penguin can do those things.
I don't know, we'll worry about him another time. Right now, we're talking about Toluca. Follow Toluca on twitch.tv/Toluca Turtle, and I'll also leave a link to the episode of Broadcast from Outer Space that she appeared on in the description below, so make sure to check that out, and give Toluca a follow on Twitch if you like. Thank you.
Please assist the initiative in researching this subject.
I wouldn't have told on anybody if you would have ran him the fuck over, okay? You're allowed to just smack him like a ding-dong. Okay, no, wrong way, Yakame. Okay, there we go. Yeah, mommy monkeys hit hard. They sure do sometimes.
The next part of the show is called Odd Questions of the Week. Now this is a bit of a relic of attempted content past, where I'll try to answer odd questions that come from viewers, friends, random parts of the internet, or social media mutuals. I'll be honest, I tried this out before, but I made a few mistakes. Primarily, it was one of the first things that I tried to do. Problem with that is, if you're talking to nobody and expecting an answer, you're going to be waiting a while. Or at least until the voices start coming. I ended up just making up the questions that I used, except for one that actually was genuinely submitted. So with this new format, I'm going to give it another go, but don't be surprised if this part of the show ends up getting jettisoned to save my sanity, or what's left of it at least. All that said, I'm not going to have a question for this first episode, but if you do have an odd question that you'd like answered by a subpar VTubing otter, then leave it in the comments below, or connect with me on Twitter at OddEdsOtter. If you're already following me on Twitter, then look forward to me asking people to write in with their odd questions. We'll see how it goes this time. And that brings us to the last part of the show, which is of course the closing ramble. That's where I'll close out the show with any final thoughts from any other part of the show. Today, I'm just going to ask anyone who made it this far to consider helping spread the word a little. You have someone who would make a good VTuber of the week? Let me know. Maybe I'll feature them. Have an odd question? Well, give me that too. For now, I'll close out the same way I close out the live episodes of BFOS by saying thank you for watching. I hope you had a little bit of fun. And remember to always stay odd out loud. It's a heck of a lot more fun that way. Cheers.